kick it right off and get into some of the work that I did on exploring LangChain Middleware. So who saw LangChain Middleware release? 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So LangChain Middleware is really, really interesting. And I'll ask questions. So who's built an agent that's gotten out of control, that went apeshit? Come on, raise your hand. I have, right? Who's manually managed your token limits? I'm deaf. What?
Yeah, I cannot hear you well.
I can't hear you.
This is connected to my speaker.
We're not going to troubleshoot our AV system right now. Thank you, though. Can you? Is it coming out the speak? It's speaker. Hold on. Headphone up. This is the speaker right here. Test, 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 test. Okay, cool. Thanks. Sorry. It's very hard to give a present. I'm actually an introvert, by the way. I have stage training, but this is incredibly uncomfortable for me. So sorry about shutting you down there. But I can't hear you. Troubleshooting an AV system while trying to do a presentation. That right there. Remember rule 1. Okay, so who's played with token limits, maybe put caching layers in, who's had your agents blow stuff away exactly, right? Who's thrown a lot of parameters, stack parameters to fix things? We've all had to do this, right? Who's wished that you had a way that a human could pop in for human in the loop? Me, we're just talking about that. And is anyone screwed with state management for just dicking around with it? I mean, about 2 years ago, it was all we were doing. One of the reasons I like LangGraph. So in the old days, we had a huge amount of parameters that we throw into our agents, right? Now, for me, this is called AI Middleware Users Group, right? And I come from WebScale, which became Hyperscale, which became other stuff. And so middleware drives the world, right? So what if you could implement middleware patterns in your agents? So what LangChain did with the 1.0 something 4, came out just a few months ago, or a few days ago, should I say, a few weeks ago, is they entered in 3 different hooks for a middleware function, right? So you can go ahead and have something that inspects your calls before the model. I think this actually has. Oh, look at that, right? So you have your request, right, enters the flow. You have a hook that is literally before underscore model that will allow you to inspect your inputs, augment your inputs. You can modify the model request, so when the request coming into the model, and you can modify, by the way, I hope Ricky shows up. Okay, one more in Korea, so cool, sounds great. And then you can put like safeguards on the output, right? So the 3 hooks, I talked about them, right? This is actually a really good graph. I wrote a post on my blog based on some of the testing I did on colinmcnamara.com, where literally middleware.before model, you can go into an observation, right? You can modify that request, and you can basically do the output, or you can bypass it and then do an after model hook into it, right? Pretty neat, right? So your before model has a couple things that you can do, right? So you can update the agent state. You can jump to a different node, which nodes on the graph, right? You might have like my agents in my graphs now are, each function is effectively a node on the graph, right? So I can go ahead and modify and jump to a different step. You can manage your context, which is really neat now with this. So you can say, like, who spends like half their time in Claude Code or Codex, you know, scape, up, and managing your context? Oh, Panik, I'm glad thank you for raising your hand for that. So you can actually, using the before model hook, you can actually have built into your agent description, you can say only keep 20 lines, right? Only keep this many tokens, right? And then you can implement guards. So if you're like Nemo guardrails or something like that, you can make sure it doesn't go off the reservation. So hook 2 that you can do inside of this. So 1, you can swap models on the fly. So in your agent description, so has anyone had like cost runaways or cost expansion? You've had it, right? I have, right? One of the reasons I like Llama so much, right, is that I don't have to stress about it. But you can basically do a model router based on the complexity of the query that comes in. Put it right in the middleware. You can say, this is the 4.0 mini. This goes to 0.3, whatnot. You can also dynamically adjust the prompts, which is really cool. Based on that model flow model request, you can bring tools in and out of scope, another context management, but also security and safety, right? And then you can also, like, my favorite meme, I actually have a t-shirt of this that Ryan made, is from, oh my God, I just blanked on it. Ryan, the shirt, it is from Rick and Morty, right? Where they make they make an artificial intelligent robot that becomes sentient, right? And the robot's job is to like sweep, right? Like, I know I am something, and in the meme shirt, it's like, what is your purpose in life? Like, my purpose in life is to format JSON, right? Exactly. So you can change your output format. You can pop into JSON. You can structure it. You can text or other structured outputs. Pretty cool. Other thing that you can do, I ran some numbers. I don't know if these numbers are BS or not. I'd be curious if someone puts this into production to be able to validate that. But you can put caching middleware in your agent, right? So like one of the last projects I did, I end up using a lot of Requesty because it had a really cool caching layer, right? And great visibility onto it. So now with the middleware on here, you can literally put your caching layer in your agent. So good optimization, save some money on top of here. The estimation was for like 1,000 user agent, it was like $5,100 a month. I don't know if those numbers are real or not, but we'll see. Other examples here is dynamic behaviors, and I took these from my blog post, and I basically took what Harrison and team did on their blog post release, but then they also implemented these. And has anyone used deep agents yet? So deep agents are like a Claude Code clone inside of an agent, right? And so they updated deep agents, so they use LangChain middleware now, right? And so you can create dynamic behavior. It's pretty cool, right? Next is you have your after model hook. So you can inspect your outputs. You can implement circuit breakers, which are really cool. So halt execution if you are if the output is unsafe, doesn't meet expectations, is not within the scope of what you decided it would be. You can implement human in the loop. So we had like why do I use this stuff, right? That I gave a use case. So an order comes in the system, which is going to be automatically chained down and results in a purchase order an order for manufacturers to make something. If something is above capacity, I want a human to look at it and like not piss off my manufacturers. You can collect metrics in here too, so you want to pop this in like OTel and whatnot. But this is the big thing, you can do anomaly detection. So neat thing here is within this middleware, human in the loop is like really easy to do, right? Where is it? See that interrupt? So human in the loop middleware, interrupt on, stupid commands that the AI does. Delete my database. Require approval for this tool, right? You want to send an email out to my customers. Require humans to send an email. You want to read data. False. You don't have to deal with that, right? You can do composition, which is really cool. Which is you can basically stack things together or chain things together. And then I talked about this early. I don't know if this math is BS. But the caching layer seemed like really interesting, and there's been use cases where, like, I've had use cases where I've had to build systems that are in like a US Gov Cloud or something like that, and I can't use Requesty, I can't put a caching layer. Being able to put a caching layer in the graph or in the agent would be really handy. Like, I would have used this. Other gotchas that I found, I documented these on my blog. It's alpha code, but you have to basically explicitly define tools. You have to actually define your interrupts, else it won't build. You have to what's called you can't be generic. You have to specifically call a summarization model, and then your check pointer, you have to explicitly call it out, right? So if you have that empty, it's not going to build. So in this case, we have you can build your own middleware in 3 was caught with just 3 methods. So this was like a lot of work before. So this is my sample. This is a thing I put together for like me using it. Because right now I'm not using deep agents in production yet. I'm waiting for 1.0 to stabilize. I got to do some stuff with my FinOps infrastructure. This probably will make sense with my FinOps infrastructure, like what I was talking about with that use case of orders coming in. That's kind of what I'm looking at, over a month when things settle down. And I talked about my test results. And then, so if you want to play with this tomorrow, you can install LangGraph Alpha in LangChain Alpha. So 1.04 Alpha for LangGraph, 1.0, Alpha 10 for LangChain. Start with your summarization, log it, see what happens, and share your results. For people that, for resources, everything you need on this, and this is actually in the Austin LangChain repo, and it'll end up in the AIMUG. What? Oh yeah, no worries, man. And these are all recorded. This will be on YouTube, and this will also be on our notes on Learn. So I posted a blog on ColinMcNamara.com. It was just a study guide where I post my notes, or people can use them. The docs are at langchain.com/middleware. And then I hate Slack, but you can hop on the LangChain Slack, or you can log in our Discord. So that's me, and I want to give it up onto our next presenter if anyone has any questions.